Blimpie came before Subway, so why do many people think it's just a cheap imitation? If you thought Blimpie disappeared years ago, you're not alone. There are fewer around, and many states have only one or none at all. Plus, the ones that do still exist may be in a gas station, so the locations aren't always very prominent. So you'd be forgiven for thinking it doesn't exist anymore. But some people don't know that it ever existed at all. In a subreddit for the 30 Rock TV show, a Redditor said, "I just learned that Blimpie is a real fast food chain. There's only one in my state, and it's in a small town 42 miles away. I thought it was made up for the show."
I'm 5 steps ahead of you, you sons of bitches! Blimpies.
Another Redditor said they didn't know Blimpie was real until their employer gave them a Blimpie gift card. If a restaurant is so covert and rare that people think it doesn't exist, or that it's a fake restaurant, you're doing something seriously wrong with your advertising and promotion. Back in 1995, Blimpie locations were opening up right and left to the tune of 45 new ones each month. By 2001, there were 1,853 locations around the world, with some states having more than 100 locations. By 2011, though, there were only 739 stores left, and by 2024, the Blimpie app was only showing 85 left. That's more than a 95% decrease in location numbers in a little over 20 years. You can find Blimpies open in 23 states across the US, with the majority in New Jersey, Georgia, Idaho, Michigan, New York, and Virginia. It makes sense that there would be more in New Jersey since the first one opened in Hoboken, New Jersey in 1964. Sadly, though, there are no more Blimpies in Hoboken as of 2017, meaning the chain has disappeared from its own hometown. At its height in 2001, Blimpie was doing $300 million in sales per year. However, that success did not last. The Blimpie downfall started in 2001 when co-founder Tony Konza agreed to sell the chain to a private investor group. By the time Kahala bought the chain in 2006, it had already lost over 200 locations. That accelerated under their management. Nation's Restaurant News revealed that, within a year after its sale to Kahala, the chain lost 5.41% of its locations. During the second year of its ownership, it lost an additional 20.14%. According to USA Today, in the 10 years between 2001 and 2011, 60.1% of the Blimpie locations closed and its sales declined by 60.4%. By 2022, revenue had dropped to just $63 million a year. Blimpie restaurants just haven't proven to be a good investment. Even when there were still hundreds instead of just tens of restaurants open, it had a high Small Business Administration loan default rate. SBA loans are the ones that optimistic new franchise owners often take out to cover buying the property or to help with startup costs. Unhappy Franchisee reported that, between 2001 and 2015, 46% of people who got SBA loans for Blimpie locations ended up defaulting on them. With even fewer locations staying open as the years have progressed, it's likely that figure has only worsened. With so many locations closing, it's a gamble to put personal assets up for collateral when there's a high likelihood of a new Blimpie going belly up. Back in 2011, when Blimpie started going into full decline mode, the executive vice president of Technomic Inc. explained the phenomenon to 24/7 Wall Street, saying older restaurants like Blimpie have not kept up with current generations or have been dominated by new competition within the segment. Blimpie has tried a few times to appeal to younger generations, with unfortunate results. In 2005, Blimpie created a creepy, faceless sandwich mascot called Blimpie Guy. The $12 million Blimpie Guy campaign was an attempt to capitalize on a Blimpie appearance in a Sex and the City episode. The company did a $3 million campaign that year featuring NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon alongside Blimpie Guy, hoping for a competitive edge with young adults between 25 and 44. The fact that the internet barely remembers Blimpie Guy is a testament to his failure.
I think that is one fresh sandwich.
A 2013 attempt the chain made in celebration of its upcoming 50th birthday was to offer a game to try to appeal to millennials. The game, Blimpie Run, featured their Deli Fresh mascot running around the US collecting ingredients and trying to avoid obstacles like skunks. While it was possible to download it for Android or Apple phones and play for a chance to win free subs for a year, It doesn't seem many people did. Blimpie has jumped on the social media bandwagon. Kinda. The sandwich chain has Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok accounts. In 2014, for its 50th anniversary, it tried to get more customers to engage with its social media profiles. Rather than hire an outside agency to help with social media, the company's director of digital media said they sat around the table together, creating the marketing calendar and executing ideas. The company was excited to see an increase in Facebook fans for its efforts. However, fan numbers mean very little if they never engage. While Blimpie has 68,000 followers on Facebook, most of its posts are only getting tens of likes and a handful of comments or shares. People who do comment mention things like not having a Blimpie nearby anymore or having their local one closed because of staff shortages. Its Instagram account has 12,600 followers and similar engagement patterns to Facebook, with people lamenting the lack of Blimpie locations nearby. The chain also gave YouTube videos a go in 2018 and 2020. The video it released in 2018 has 275,000 views, while the two it made in 2020 have around 889,000 combined views. Surely they were onto something. However, for some reason, the chain didn't try making another video until January 2024 and received only a handful of views. The short on YouTube is a bit of a disappointment. It's just a static ad with a picture of an ultimate roast beef sandwich. Blimpie finally has a TikTok account, but there are only 6 posts of food image videos, and they have barely over 40 followers. Meanwhile, Subway has over 640,000 followers on TikTok, with new and interesting content and video plays that are often in the millions. Blimpie's menu is extremely simple these days, which makes it easy to have small restaurants without a kitchen. But we're not sure the simple menu is necessarily working in the chain's favor. The sandwich selection includes a dozen subs, split into classic subs and premium subs, along with a couple of limited-time menu options. Plus, there are 8 hot subs, and you can also buy sides, drinks, and desserts to go with your meal. However, that's where the menu ends. Recent diversification attempts have just been to offer different types of sandwiches. But there are no wraps, bowls, or salads for lower-carb or gluten-free main course choices, which other sandwich shops like Subway have. It's a puzzle, especially since the chain already has all the ingredients it needs to make salads or bowls. Earlier menus featured smoothies, juice, salad, and wraps in addition to what it sells today. It's odd that they haven't brought these menu items back, with more people looking for healthy options at restaurants now.
If you've ever had a sandwich from Blimpie, you definitely remember the experience.
During Blimpie's early days, its locations were regular-sized restaurants. However, one new concept that Blimpie promoted to potential franchise owners in the 1990s was the idea of locations with smaller footprints. They could open them in places like convenience stores, truck stops, malls, or college campuses. Aspiring new owners only needed $35,000 to get one started. Since the restaurant doesn't cook meat or make bread or cookies on site, these smaller locations don't even need a kitchen. The chain even tried out a kiosk concept for places like special events and fairs, and movable display carts to sell sandwiches at airports or college campuses. Even in the remaining full-sized restaurants, there often aren't that many tables, so the restaurants aren't that optimistic about getting lots of dine-in customers. The idea was innovative and could have made the company more profitable with more locations, but that wasn't the reality, and the restaurant has become more invisible in the long run. It turned out that going smaller ended up making the whole chain smaller. There are a lot of sandwich shop chains these days, but Blimpie sadly ranks toward the bottom. Theoretically, it should all be very profitable since the sandwich industry is reportedly growing by 1.8% per year and was worth a whopping $45.2 billion in 2023. One reason sandwich shops are doing well is because of healthier options. However, chains need more than just healthy ingredients. They also need a strong reputation, good locations, continuous menu innovation, accommodations for special diets, and good marketing plans. Otherwise, it's not going to do well in today's hyper-competitive market. Some of the sub-sandwich shop chains that are doing well and doing things better include Subway, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's Subs, and Firehouse Subs. The best example is Subway, which QSR named the transformational brand of 2023. After 6 years of negative sales in the 2010s, Subway turned itself around with more digital sales strategies, getting serious about catering, reimagining the menu with curated sandwiches, and doing modern, fresh-forward remodels of its restaurants. Subway President Trevor Haynes told Nation's Restaurant News, "Our priority remains working alongside our franchisees to find new and exciting opportunities to elevate the guest experience and drive profitability and traffic." The restaurant world has transformed dramatically in the past few years, leaving older chains like Blimpie in a position of needing to change or die. Blimpie needs something to set it apart to get more business. When a city has several sub-sandwich options, customers either go to the closest one or the one with something unique to offer. One Redditor wanted to know whether Blimpie or Subway was the copycat chain. They noticed, "They have a setup very similar to Subway, from the bread selection to how the meats and veggies are organized. The colors of the menu are similar, and they both have cookies displayed near the cash register." Blimpie opened its first location in 1964, which was a year earlier than Subway, so you could say that Blimpie is the original. But it's up to the chain to make sure they stand out from their competition. Some things that set Blimpie apart in the past no longer exist. Blimpie axed its smoothies, wraps, and salads, while other chains added them with success. The same is true of freshly sliced meats, which became all the rage when Jersey Mike's adopted the practice, causing Subway to jump on the bandwagon and start doing it too. Blimpie, however, actually went away from freshly sliced meat, with one Redditor saying, "They went downhill when most locations got the pre-sliced meats. You can get a better sandwich at most bodegas." Going against every popular trend isn't a great way to build brand loyalty. Blimpie headed across the Pacific to Singapore in 2020 in an attempt to get some new traction. While 2020 wasn't the best year for any restaurant to start up because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the chain didn't fold right away. It lasted 3 years before shutting its doors. At least part of the problem was its choice of partners. The owner of Blimpie made a deal with Delish Brands, a company already running several fast casual restaurants in Singapore. The initial plan was to stagger the opening of 5 Blimpie locations between 2020 and 2025. However, Delish began shutting down operations in 2023, closing restaurants from all the chains they were running in Singapore, like Fatburger, Buffalo's Express, Buttermilk, and Blimpie's.
Blimpies!